Yo, what's good with it? It's your boy 1C Slim, aka Christopher Knox, aka Mr. Hashtag Body Bag. This right here is Still Maintain Sports, and we back in the playoffs. We're getting to the finals. Connecticut Sun, not Connecticut Sun. They ended up getting their whipped by Minnesota Lynx. I ain't even gonna front. That's what happened. That's what happened. Didn't expect that, but that's definitely what happened. Minnesota Lynx versus the New York Liberty, and as far as the Connecticut Sun and Minnesota Lynx, just watch my last video. It's gonna tell you all about it. Like, I pretty much stated most of that. You know what I mean? In Game 4, Dejanay Carrington was able to put the clamps on Courtney Williams. She wasn't able to get too many points off, you know what I'm saying, by them making that change up. What they did was make some adjustments. They see switching off with Hines and Williams. So you tire Carrington out, and your other two guards still have that energy to get in there and do what they needed to do. And that's what happened. Carrington still had, a pretty good great defense on Williams, which is, Williams didn't really start to go off or really start to really truly show up until the second half, but Nafisa was there the whole game. Like, she was there. All right, it was no taking away from what she did as a player and just dismantling them. As soon as they looked like they were cutting it short in the third quarter, behind the energy and heart of Dejanay Carrington, Lynx called a timeout. Next thing you know, they pushed that lead right back up. The ending score don't really show what the beating that it really was. It was a beating. I ain't gonna front. Now, New York Liberty versus the Minnesota Lynx. I'm so sorry, you guys. I keep getting it mixed up. Now, these three had three meetings earlier in this season, and the Minnesota Lynx, they got the better of New York. They do. They got the better of them. They won 2-1. So out of the 3 games, Minnesota won 2 of those 3 games. All right. Now let me show you guys a little bit of the stats from that. Okay, give me a sec. I gotta pull it up real quick. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be a statsman. You know what I mean? So in 2 of those games, Nafisa Collier did not score more than 20 points. Didn't score 20 points at all. All right. And I'm saying this to show you guys the difference maker. Okay. In their matchups, okay. Carleton seemed to show up pretty well. I think she averaged at least about 15 points through those 3 meetings. So Carleton was definitely a factor in these games. Now, when we talk about on the Liberty side, Breanna Stewart definitely showed up each game. She dropped 20 or more in this series. One game she's dropped 38. All right. I want to say in that game that's the game where they actually got the W, if I'm not mistaken. Give me 1 second. Let me double check that. You know what I'm saying? I want to double check that and make sure I'm right. Yep. In that game, they ended up getting the W. It seems like Jonquel Jones, she tends to show up in these games. She's been showing up 10 plus points or more, 10 or more points. The biggest issue here is Sabrina. All right. Sabrina Ionescu. In 2 of the 3 games, it doesn't seem like she left a big imprint on the game. All right. So with that being said, again, those 2 players are going to have to play very well in order for them to get the win over the Minnesota Lynx. All right. Nafisa, it shows in some of the games when she didn't score 20 points, they ended up getting a W against the Connecticut Sun in a couple of those games. It was very close, but the Minnesota Lynx have Nafisa, who is a great passer. She's a great defender, and she can get out there and score. Breanna Stewart, pretty much the same. All right, so those 2 kind of defeat each other. Now, what I feel like New York Liberty has over the Minnesota Lynx is a Sabrina Ionescu. The Minnesota Lynx doesn't have a talent like that on their team, but the biggest difference is they play great team ball. Okay. Just those 2 alone for New York Liberty, Breanna Stewart and Sabrina, I don't think that's going to bring the title home. They're going to have to do great, though. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, they're going to have to do great. Sabrina cannot have a bad game. I do not think she can have a bad game and them still win. Okay? Just like game three against the Aces, she cannot have a no-show game like that to where she only scores 5 points. She's going to have to score 10 plus. I want to say probably even 20. You know, along with Breanna Stewart. Breanna Stewart's going to get her numbers, going to get a double-double most likely throughout most of these games because she's going to have to work against Nafisa Collier. And Nafisa Collier is going to have to work against Breanna Stewart. So we're going to see how that goes. Me personally, I do think that New York Liberty is going to take the title, take this series. I think the Minnesota Lynx is going to win the very first game. But after that, I think New York Liberty is going to win the next 3. And I say that because, again, I feel like Sabrina is going to continue to show up in this series. Jonquel Jones have been playing really good basketball as well. Even though Carleton has been doing pretty good, I don't see her playing better than like a Jonquel Jones this series. Vandersloot has been playing very well. And Phoebus has been like the sleeper of their unit. I feel like a lot of people have slept on Phoebus. I definitely did. But Phoebus has truly been showing up and has been one of their major contributors and factors in getting them to these finals. So, again, by the end of this, I do believe New York Liberty will be winners 3-1. It will only go to a game 4. I don't think it's going to a game 5. I'm not going to front. That's how I feel, okay? New York Liberty is high off of beating the Las Vegas Aces. They got their get back. You know what I'm saying? They're going to go in this first game a little bit lackadaisical. I don't think they're going to go in with the full amount of energy and things of that nature that they're going to need in order to beat the high that the Minnesota Lynx are rolling on right now. So that's my prediction. That's my guess. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Hit that like button too. Comment and subscribe, please. I would greatly appreciate that. So that way we can continue to drop content like this. All right. But y'all already know what it is. Your boy 1C Slim, aka Christopher Knox, aka Mr. #BodyBag. This is Still Maintain Sports, where we hold our own. Salute.